Hello and welcome to another Wimbledon 5K tennis discussion. We are on show 102. Today is July 8th, 2019. Hola y bienvenidos a otra discusión de Wimbledon. Estamos en el programa número 102 y hoy es el 8 de julio de 2019.
Woo! Love that. Love it.
And I'm back to being normal.
Yes, Carla prefers the non-proper attire. She prefers to go
Non-proper attire.
She prefers to go tennis.
Well, I mean, we're talking about tennis. Maybe, you know what we could do in the future? Maybe we could dress up like on the finals, like, you know, when they crown the champion. It's a good idea, right?
So, super nice dress on final Sunday.
Yeah. And you gotta dress up with a long sleeve shirt and a tie. How's that?
I don't even think I own a tie.
You do own many ties.
You know where they are?
Yes.
All right, as long as you know where they are.
We can do that. What do you guys think? Good idea for every slam, the final, we'll dress up.
But isn't the women's finals on a Saturday?
Well, we could do the one show together because we usually do.
Don't do one show for one match?
Yeah, I would.
All right, well.
We never do.
We can let them vote on that.
Vote on it. What do you guys think?
Sometimes I have withdrawals when we don't do a show in one day, though. Sometimes I miss it. So we took middle Sunday off, and I was didn't even feel right. I don't know. We'll let them vote on that.
How did it not feel right? We were super busy.
Because we've done this every day almost
for
a year and a half. I still miss it, though.
By the way, good job, Gabe. If he watches the show.
Man, I love that kid. Mm-hmm. One of our junior tennis players, and he's been doing a really good job. All right, moving forward, enough about us. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and you can catch up with us on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, as well as email if you wish to remain kind of personal in a sense. And all of those links are available in the expanded description field. We get this question a lot with students, with parents, with viewers. How do we see those links? There is a little down-faced black triangle or a down arrow that on a mobile device or laptop, it's usually right next to the title. So you can tap that and it'll bring up kind of a description and it'll have those links right there in it that you can tap and go directly to them. The comments are always really wonderful on the comment feeds because a lot of the viewers now that are and have been for a while, some of their commentary is really quite amazing. So it's always worth a read in the comments area. There's a lot of heavy-hitting tennis minds here on this channel, which again is your channel. Without you, there is no this. So remember, this is your platform, and most of those that write, if not all of them at this point, are quite nice to read. Would you agree or disagree?
Yes, agree. I mean, I want to thank you guys. It was a whole bunch of you from the morning that were sending me messages, keeping us up to date. Everything. Yeah,
so real quick, kind of what we're going to do today is, number one, there's a lot of tennis to be discussed, so we want to get right into it. There's a lot of viewer comments to discuss as well, and those like Rahesh and B-Dog02, Millennium 13, Dark Knight, the list goes on. We used to spend a lot of time, an hour or more, just on viewer comments, and I think we need to spend some time on them today because there's a lot of good ones. So we're going to talk about the matches, results. We're going to talk about Coco Gauff. We're going to talk about Serena reaching over the net. We're going to talk about a lot of viewer thoughts and a lot of viewer comments.
Players getting fined.
Fines from players. So there's a lot to talk about, so let's jump right in. This is a big thing for us, and we talked about this as we were preparing the show for this evening. Right now, a huge shout out to all of you. I think we spend a lot of time talking about and giving our thoughts, etc., but let us be very clear that all of you keep us in the tennis mind a lot of the time, and you may not realize it. So we wanted to take a minute and remind all of you that you keep us going in a sense. For instance, Carla and I today were training 4 or 5 different students throughout the day, and it was, I think, about 106 heat temperature index in no shade.
Oh, I felt like I was going to pass out today. I had a headache.
Yeah, and don't get us wrong, it was a wonderful time, but for half of the time it was so hot. We wish we were kind of, chilling, watching matches, and we watched about a third of them. But the other 2/3 that we did not watch, we were lucky enough to have a lot of you, such as Wayne M. Chia out there, and he's in Singapore. Wild Live 1 is another one, and we'll get into that. But a lot of you kept us up to speed almost in a play-by-play fashion when we were in a place where we couldn't keep up with it at all. I wanted to say, and I know Carla has a lot more to say, but I wanted to say that a lot of you guys, all of you, your play-by-play analysis that we received by email, by Instagram, by not Twitter. I don't think we had anything there.
Well, he usually uses Twitter. I usually do get stuff on Twitter, but today it was email and Facebook Messenger and Instagram and YouTube and my email.
Yeah, a lot of the commentary today was better than anything that we can remember in terms of watching others commentate on the television or radio or whatever. Sometimes commentary from friends, all of you that have become family in a sense, to all of us. Some commentary that we get from you because we have gotten to know all of you in a sense means a lot more. We feel you. We know how you write. We know how you think. And to get a lot of your commentary play-by-play has been much better than watching any commentary on the television. So thanks so much to all of you. I hope you understand the thanks that we are both relaying to all of you.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So the second week of Wimbledon, or any major for that matter, is a very intense time for our prize giveaways that we do. So we want to do a quick update on the prize giveaways now that the fourth round is complete and we are set for the quarterfinals. So first of all, I want to go over the top 3 fantasy team leaders that we have right now in this point in time. Okay, remember the top 2 fantasy team winners will receive either a 5K tennis shirt, size depending, so we are limited on some of the sizes, YTEX shirts, YTEX jackets, again size dependent, or 2 sets of your choice of YTEX strings, and we will talk about what we have personally after whoever wins. Pardon me. In first place, we have Jordan Nelson, who has been kind of leading the pack the whole time.
He's been doing great.
He has 46 points and 7 players remaining. That's quite impressive. In second place, we have Peter Dijkstra in Sweden, who has 45 points with 7 players remaining as well. In third place, on the outside looking in, we have Yuri Raz. What's up, Yuri?
And we did correct that. He did check Mertens. He made sure, because I got a message from him on YouTube.
Yeah, we checked it. Thank you, Yuri, for that. Hopefully you're in the gym. Let's go. Keep pumping the iron. Let's get down. But he has 41 points and 6 players left. Real quickly, how this can unfold is Peter Dijkstra has Sam Querrey and David Goffin that Jordan Nelson does not have. And Jordan Nelson has Bautista Agut and Simona Halep that Peter Dijkstra does not have. So they're locked in neck and neck. Yuri Raz, with 6 players left, has basically all the players that both of them have. So it looks like Jordan Nelson and Peter Dijkstra will roll through to be your 2 winners. That's not over yet, so stay tuned for that. By the way, speaking of the rules for our fantasy teams, as you all know, the goal is before every major is to select 8 players on the men's side and 8 players on the women's side. Only the top 5 can be in the top 20, only 5 of them can be in the top 20, and the remaining 3 must be outside of the top 20. What has happened? That's a poor English.
What has happened?
What has happened? What has occurred for the past couple of majors is that we tend to have someone run away with it early on. I know Casper Detseville did it, and it looks like Jordan Nelson and Peter Dijkstra have done it at this point. So what we want to postulate or to bring out, and this was Peter Dijkstra's idea, so thank you, I love the ideas, is that for the U.S. Open, we would like to do, instead of 5 players in the top 20, do 4 players in the top 20, and then 4 that are not inside the top 20. So you have a total of 16 players, and 4 men and 4 women can only be in the top 20, and the other 4 women and 4 men must be outside the top 20. And your top 20 picks get double points. So instead of 1 point per win, they get 2. So I think this is a great idea. Let's talk about that for all those fantasy players. A lot of you don't play, a lot of you do. So let's talk about that, and let's kind of hone in on that. I think it would make it more competitive. I think it would make the runaways a lot less. But the vote is up to you. Again, this is your show, and this is your prize giveaways. Thank you very much to Ivor Savage and YTEX Strings that gives us the majority of the stuff to give these prizes away. Less the tennis racket giveaways, we do that ourselves. So I think we're going to do that for the U.S. Open. Double points for your outside of the top 20 players, and I think we'll have more fireworks all the way to the finish, all right?
I actually can't wait for the U.S. Open.
Can't wait for it. Let's go.
My favorite.
All right, so for the tennis racket giveaway, again, It is a Wilson Burn 100S countervail, which is the spin version with the 16 by 18, a more open string pattern with a 4 1/4 grip. When someone wins the racket, if someone wins it, I will fresh overgrip it with some nice new white Wilson Pro overgrip. I will freshly string it with your choice of YTEX strings, and you will be set to go. There are some light paint chips on it, so if you see that, again, this was used by my oldest son for a couple of months during last year's high school season. He had a very good season and was lucky enough to get another frame. But this will be yours to winner. So out of 29 applicants as of right now, after today's upsets and losses by Pliskova and by Halep,
Kvitova,
or not Halep, Kvitova, sorry.
Yes, Kvitova.
We have
and Barty.
And Barty. We have 4 players remaining, so I'm going to list them really quickly. We have Perfect, has all 4 of his finalists. Again, to win the racket, you're supposed to predict before the tournament starts.
This guy must be making some betting.
Yeah, but before
he does that,
yeah, before the tournament starts, you have to pick your predictive finalists on the men's side and who you think will win it. Your predictive finalists on the women's side, who you think will win it. And if you get 3 of the finalists in place and at least one of your winners, then you qualify to win it. If people tie, then we can find out who lost the 3rd or 4th player before the other one did. So it's pretty easy to work out. Perfect right now is Jordan Nelson. He has a final. Djokovic, Federer, with Federer winning, and a Serena and Halep final with Serena winning. Also, we have Matt Cain at his perfect as well. Matt Cain sent us a picture today watching tennis at Wimbledon.
We'll show it.
We will share that picture shortly.
Yes.
He was watching the Barty and Risk match. I hear there was a lot of grunting or screeching going on in that match, or at least from Risk's side. Matt Cain has a Djokovic-Nadal final with Djokovic winning. He also has Serena versus Halep in the final with Serena winning. So those 2 are close. One has Federer, one has Nadal in the final. Okay? Carla is still in the mix with Federer Djokovic final with Federer winning, and a Serena Pliskova loss final and Serena winning. So she's still alive. The last person alive is curling tennis. That's curling tennis. He likes to curl and play tennis. Curling, the sport on ice. We have Novak Djokovic Federer final with Djokovic winning. He has Serena versus a lost Pliskova and Serena winning. So right now, it's possible for any of those 4 to win. Everyone else is out. All right? All right, Carla, enough of that. We went 12 minutes trying to get through that. And again, we'll do a full update come final day, but I think I'll cut time short moving forward.
Let me just show that picture.
All right, so this is a picture of Matt Cain. Yeah. All right, here we go. Let him soak that in. What does it say on it?
Watching at Wimbledon, Barty in trouble here. So he was there watching at court 2.
Yeah, also Matt Cain was the same gentleman on the last show that sent us a picture of him watching our show at a coffee shop in the United Kingdom, and that was very nice as well. So thank you very much for the picture today as well. So let's get right into the show in terms of the thick of it. Again, maybe you guys can tell me if I should do all these updates at the end, because I don't want to have people turning the channel in essence if they could care less about fantasy team updates. But let's get right into, Carla. I think you said you had a lot of viewer thoughts, a lot of viewer comments, and a lot of topics that came from viewers that you wanted to discuss today. Yeah. And I know, who was it? Margarita Martinez that said I should shut up more? I'm kidding. So,
she's a girl. She knows.
So, again, I...
No, she said you interrupt me a lot.
I do, and I have a problem with that. I do. It's just that when we started this, she never wanted to do it in the first place, so I found myself talking so much and just used her... not used you, but just her presence made me feel better and made me speak more freely. But now that she's comfortable, I do need to work on not interrupting Carla. So I do agree with Margarita, right? Margarita Martinez. I do agree with her on that. So right now, Carla, your show, and let's talk about these messages and comments that really I don't know too much about, because you said you thought it would be better if we debated them.
Well, I had an email from Wild Live One. I won't give out his...
Who is it? Wild Live One?
Wild Live One. And I think you guys read some of his comments about Coco Gauff. Well, he sent me a pretty long essay, which I appreciate. I can't read the whole essay because it's just too long on this channel. But really well written. So, basically he talks about Coco Gauff after watching her match. She lost to Halep. So he says he was analyzing her game and basically, he says, I'm not a coach or an expert player, but there are a few things that I've noticed and or were mentioned by TV commentators. Obviously, this is a very small sample size, So a lot of this could change in the future. So I kind of took little nuggets, well, a lot of nuggets. He said her two-handed backhand looks good. She's able to hit strong returns. Does well both offensive and defensive. Her forehand is clearly the weaker side. She doesn't hit flat and can be pushed to make many errors, especially on the move. Solid serve, especially second. Lacks variety on serve, which he said Halep guessed and took advantage of that. Impressed by her movement, she can change directions quickly. Net play okay and has sense when to come in. Good conduct, no grunting, which he appreciated, unlike Risk. Did not complain to umpire or scream at box, as we usually see some players do. Gauff handled media well, showed poise and confidence, unlike some players like Osaka. He does not expect her to make deep runs into the slams in the next year. He says WTA can't manage to have consistency. Gauff has a good building block to start with. Fingers crossed for American tennis that she turns out to be the real deal in the coming years. And this is just a short thing. He wrote longer.
Okay, so do you want me to speak on this first, or would you like to continue? All right. First of all, Carla indicated to me that there was a very well written piece by Wildlife One that was today. She didn't want to tell me everything of it, so we could talk about it openly. I have a feeling I know Carla pretty darn well, and I would assume we are going to agree on this along with Wildlife One. First of all, this article or this message that Wildlife One wrote to us should be on the YouTube comment feed.
I sent him an email back, said, can I share this with the group so they can read it?
It should be. This came by email, and that's great. But this type of writing deserves to be read. And again, there are so many of you out there that write stuff this intensely, yes, but is thorough, I guess is what I was looking for. But first of all, one word that Wildlife One mentioned, and I hope that this gets posted on this channel's feed in comments, because it should be read. And maybe everyone doesn't analyze things as much as we all do, but this is a well-written piece. It should be in this comment field, but it came personally. We won't share it without his permission. But poise. Wildlife One mentioned poise. P-O-I-S-E. Poise. Since I was a boy, and some of the best coaches I've ever been around learning to coach myself, always talk about poise, especially on the women's side. Carla, how important is it for any player, for that matter, to show that they're poised, they're collected, and they don't get too spazzed out on the tennis court? How important is that, Carla?
I think it's everything. If you don't have that, I think the rest of your game doesn't. I mean, everything goes down. If you don't have poise, you come crashing pretty quickly.
I mean, I agree totally with this entire comment, and I was going to say dissertation or whatever. It's long, but it's heartfelt. He spent time on this.
And there's a lot more that he wrote.
It should be on this channel in comments.
He broke it down: forehand, backhand, volleys, movement, slice. But I didn't want to read all that to you guys because I'm hoping that I can post it there. But I agree with him, actually. I do agree, especially with the last thing he says, that he doesn't expect her to go deep in the next slams in the next year. I think that she still has a ways to go for, to get more experience, more winning matches. Good run, great job. Today I spoke to someone at the post office that never played tennis, but somehow she knew about Coco Gauff. She said, oh, the 15-year-old is how exciting. I was excited to watch her play tennis, and she knows nothing about tennis. So obviously, she's bringing more people into the game. People that have no idea about tennis. That's a good thing.
Also, as well, we've talked about on the show a lot, people can tell you're a tennis player from a distance, whether they know about it or not, by how you walk, how you talk, how you carry yourself, how your poise is. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of coincidental that someone bumped into you at the post office and started talking about Coco Gauff, number one.
Yes.
Irrelevant on this topic, though, is Wildlife One also mentioned that Coco Gauff, Coco Gauff, I'll call her. I'm not a fan of nicknames of 15-year-olds. But Coco Gauff, he mentioned, needed to have variety on serve. This is a message that goes out with this comment to a student of ours whose name is Ward, who came out and trained with us today. Good player, solid player, and we worked on variety on serve today. And the reason why variety is important, just like Wildlife One said, is we were playing some practice games just for fun. Score was irrelevant, but I was trying to portray or explain to this fine young junior player. Actually, he's a senior in high school, so not really a junior, but still in that category, I guess you could say, that without variety, now I can guess and lean into where your serve is coming. So it was going up the tee a lot on the deuce court, so I would guess it and just go for it, and it worked. Then on the ad side, it would come up the tee, so to my forehand, and so anyway, and I would go for it, and it would work. So what I'm getting at is changing up service placement is extremely important, because someone will learn your patterns. Someone will feed into, okay, this person only has neutral to my chest or out wide, so I'm going to be ready for the forehand on the deuce court, or vice versa in the ad court. And if it's that predictable, then it's a problem. But normal for a young 15-year-old, right?
Yes.
We're talking about Coco Gauff too. Where does Coco Gauff even play next? Now, here's my topic with this. Coco Gauff is 15 years old, a spectacular talent. Come to find out, she's managed actually by Roger Federer's management team, which is called Team 8. So picture this. Here's a 15-year-old, almost a no-name. We heard about her before this, by the way.
We have, yes.
But almost a no-name who runs into the first couple of rounds at Wimbledon. All of a sudden, she's got Patrick's Mortagalou, who always pops up in all these players' boxes. You got Federer's Team 8 representing her. You got parents that are like new to this whole deal of being now an international sensation. Is it too much pressure for her at this point? Can she continue to ride this wave? Didn't Jaylen Brown bring this up the other day?
Well, I think
Didn't Wildlife even bring this up?
Jaylen Brown said more of like, why are we thinking about the future? Let's just enjoy this moment. Pretty much sums it up what he said.
So do you not think that this young mind, though, does look at tour player box and see Serena's guy, Patrick Mortagalou, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, by the way, and then looks at her management team and it's Roger Federer's teammate? Surely that's got to be some type of pressure, but maybe it's not, and
I don't know. She seems, like he said, very poised, very, she's mature for her age, so maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe she's totally cool with it. Your comments on that, but let's look at just a minute at her age of being 15. Carla and I have 5 kids. Granted, the 2 oldest are boys, but we do have 2 girls in the middle and then a younger boy. I would have a really tough time as a father and as a tennis coach. Both the girls play, all of the kids play, even the 3-year-old is hitting the ball over the net at this point. But I would have a real tough time at 15 to let my daughter just go. Just let her go. In a sense, I would still want to be on top of that and still be protective of her, because what happens if there's an injury? What happens if there's some, I don't even want to talk about the things that can happen in life, a car wreck on the way home, who knows, an infection or an injury. Things can happen. And I would still want my daughter, a 15-year-old, and again, we have 2, I would still want her to mature into a young lady, and I think that needs parenting and the parents to be around, at least one of them, if not both. So I don't think that it is right to condemn the WTA for not allowing her to play more than, I think it's 12 tournaments before she's the age of 16 or 17. I have to check.
There's a reason why the rules were pushed.
So there's a reason behind her limitation for tournaments, and I agree with the reason. I understand Roger Federer probably doesn't agree with it because it's his business that manages her, and that's profit. And let me believe you, he's a multiple $100 million athlete, and money is important to anyone. Unfortunately, it's at the expense of a young mind.
I agree with the rule too. I don't think 15-year-olds are mature enough, even if they look mature or act mature.
They're just not.
You don't want them to get burned out. We've seen many of these young players crash.
Well, yeah, not only crash, but sometimes their minds are just pulled away from them as growing mature young ladies, or men in that sense.
And they're
just thrown into something. They're easily influenced.
Manipulated.
They're manipulated
Easily. Yes.
Easily by the lure. I don't like it that, no offense to Mortagalou, Patrick, I'm sure he's the greatest coach in the world, but she wins a round, there's no sign of him. She wins the second round and boom, he's in the box. It's like people are posting up. And someone said this, so maybe it was even Jaylen Brown that said this, I forget, but someone quoted in our comments that Mortagalou posts up and acts like he's the coach. What's that all about? And whoever said that, I'm sorry, I didn't write it in. I just thought about it. But I agree with that. I think that the WTA or whatever, the ITF, that limits the amount of tournaments.
Good for them.
I think it's good because,
Yes.
I mean, she needs to go home at some point. She needs to have kitchen table dinners with the family or whatever their deal is and get away because it can cause burnout.
Well, Anisimova went through the same restrictions, and look, she's fine now. She's 17. She can play as many slams as she wants, so it worked out for her.
Yeah, and 17 in this day and age is still very young.
It's still a baby.
When I was a kid in the early 90s, I mean, the world was a different place. Now there's, a lot of crazy things that going on. A lot of crazy, just in the life we lead. And more nurture, I think, is involved. So I agree with the limitation on tournaments. So hopefully, I think she still has 5 or 6 more tournaments left that she can play.
Oh, I'm sure they'll give her a wild card at the U.S. Open. You would think, right?
Yeah, that's
I don't think that they would make her qualify for that. I would think they'd give her that wild card.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. All right, so you got more articles. I know Wild Live one. That's great. Please put that in comments and put it on the comments in the last show or even this one. It doesn't matter, but it should be read by more than just Carla and myself.
Well, Rajesh sent me a message early, and Wayne Chia, kind of the same thing. Rajesh says Novak played third round in court 1. Round 4 also scheduled in court 1, while both Rafa and Roger played round 3 on center court and scheduled round 4 on center court. And Wayne Chia sends me a message and says Djokovic is getting court 1. And what's up with that? Nadal Sousa is not really a high match compared to Djokovic. Well, Nadal he won his match today, as we know, against Sousa pretty easily, 6-2, 6-2, 6-2. And they asked him about Ashley Barty not being put on center court, instead being put on court 2, which we know is the graveyard for seeds. Well, she lost today to Alison Risk. And they asked him, what do you think of Wimbledon choosing to put Ashley Barty in court 2 and you in center court? And he said, I am world number 2. I won 18 Grand Slams. My answer is no, nor yes. My answer is that they make the decision. For me, both are good. So what do we think about that?
You want me to start with that?
Sure.
If you're new to this channel, I have an acronym. I'm sure a lot of you have heard it and don't need the explanation, but my acronym or word is WGAS. W-G-A-S. Whiskey, Golf, Alpha, Sierra is the S, but that's not what it means. It means who gives a S, whatever, figure it out. Who gives a? First of all, the way I was brought up, again, I was brought up military. My father's a retired flight surgeon, 20 years plus in the Navy. Retired into private practice as a physician, and there's one thing I was raised on, and I raised my boys on, and I raised my girls on. Ladies first. If there is any discussion about lady not being first, I'm up in your grill. First of all, I say crybaby Nadal on this one.
But he didn't choose what court to go to.
Well, I understand that, but for him to be asked by the media, and then his response, he was, correct me if I'm wrong, I didn't read this, I didn't even know you had this, so I think it's a good topic, but I'm frustrated about it if I listened correctly. So you're telling me the media came up and said, what do you think about being on this, or do you think, whatever.
They said, well, what do you think of Ashley
Barty being on court 1, or not
court
being?
Court 2, and you were being put in center court instead of her.
Again, this is cannon fodder for the masses of who I could care nothing about in terms of WGAS. Who gives a blank? First of all, ladies first. And better yet, how can an 18-time Grand Slam champion end the conversation for the greatest of all time? How can he be asked by the media, what do you think about it? Say, oh, well, I won 18 majors. I'm sure he's more like, well, I won 18 majors.
But I didn't read what he said after that. He said, she is great. She's great for tennis. It's not my decision. He's saying it's not his decision.
Can I finish?
Because
it's your boy Nadal. I get
You're way overboard on this.
Okay, can I finish, though? Can I finish? Okay, you spoke for 10 minutes, and I didn't interrupt you. I've been warned about that. Let me talk now. Can you talk without interrupting me? Can someone jump on my side and say, don't interrupt him? Ladies first, right? I'd let that happen. How can you even quip that type of response? How can that even be part of your narrative, even if you come back and how can you say, well, I won 18 majors and I'm number 2 in the world? Who cares? It's a lady. Give her the show court and just shut up.
Well, I don't think he could give her the show court. It was Wimbledon's decision.
Well, don't even bring it up.
I do agree with.
Appreciate it. Say thank you, Wimbledon. You let the lady showcase the first time she's been number 1 in the world at a major. Why not give the young lady the court 1? Don't you think she deserved it?
Why didn't they? I don't know.
Whatever.
But I mean, I do agree with Rajesh though. You have Novak, who is the Wimbledon champion, who should have been on center court. I mean, Sosa-Nadal match was boring. Very boring. It was quick. All the matches that Federer, Djokovic, and Nadal played were quick.
Okay.
But they should have put Djokovic on that. And if not, they should have put Barty. They should have given her that chance to be on the center court.
Obviously, it has to do with ticket sales and who's going to draw the biggest ticket sales.
And that's what I told Wayne and Chia. It's who sells more, and Rafa sells more.
But he also sounded like a 2-year-old girl in the comments saying, well, I'm 18 in the world. Well,
I wouldn't have said that. I wouldn't have said that. I would have just
We're going to take too much time. Let's agree to disagree.
Let me finish.
She just loves this guy.
I would have just said, you know what? It wasn't my decision. I'm sorry that it went that way, and that's it.
That's it.
And dropped it.
But instead, he had to throw in there, well, I'm number 2 in the world. Well, guess what? She's number 1 and she's a lady. So shut up. Move on. You answered the question like a twerp, in my opinion. All right? That's your boy, though. So we'll move forward.
All right, next message.
I thought it was a sorry attempt at a quit. Well, I'm number 2. Well, she's number 1 then. And she's female. Anyway.
You're turning red, and it doesn't look good.
I just hate whiny babies.
All right, next message was from Ethan. Ethan said, hey guys, question for the show today. What do you think of the rule Serena inadvertently broke at break point, reaching over the net? Is it a silly rule?
No.
It's not a silly rule.
No.
The question is basically she reached over the net and the what do you call it? The chair?
Umpire.
The umpire said you lost the point. She didn't know the rule that you can't hit a ball while going over the net.
Can I explain this rule without you interrupting me? Because I don't want to get... So I just want to...
I'm about to like...
But I'm not a Nadal fan. I like the guy. He's great. But he whined like a girl and I got frustrated about it. I never heard that.
Calm down. Don't you tell your students be positive?
Yeah, I am positive.
Okay, well, calm down.
Being positive, that was bull. I'm positive. I don't need to... you think I would tell someone, hey man, I need the court, tell this girl to get lost, basically? Whatever. The rule in this... Serena Williams and who did she play? Suarez Navarro?
Yes, Carlos Suarez Navarro.
When you're playing, the ball must cross the plane of the net. So here's the net, right? Here's the net. Your opponent's over here and I'm over here, whoever. The ball is coming over the net. The racket can cross the net, but the ball must cross the net before you meet the ball. If you meet the ball as it's over on your side, that's in your territory, you can hit the ball across the net and your racket can go over it. And as we all know, the racket cannot clip or touch the net or your foot or anything or you lose the point anyway. So it's not advantageous to do that anyway because if you're swinging especially down, you run the risk of clipping the racket on top of the tape, which I've done a handful of times in a playing career. I'm sure we've all done it. The foot hits the net, the elbow hits the net, you lose court position.
You slide into the net.
Whatever. In this sense, though, the ball was coming over. She reached out to put the ball away. Here's the net. The ball is coming. Before her racket goes over the net, hit it and away. That's illegal. You can't hit the ball until it comes into your territory, and then you can place it back across the net. However, if you hit a ball, say a lot of backspin, right? The ball bounces and comes back over your side of the net, which can happen. Then you can reach over and touch it. But it is a rule, and look, it didn't cost her the match, okay? It didn't cost her the match. Now, she did have a hefty fine for damaging a tennis court.
$10,000
$10,000, and somehow Fabio Fognini only gets fined.
We'll talk about that later. Now you're jumping out of order.
My bad.
But they did ask her in an interview, and she said she didn't know the rule, and she will never do it again. By the way, B-Dog sends me a message. He said, who wears that at their press conference?
Oh, B-Dog 02. What's up, Bobby Harris? Let's go.
He says, have you seen her outfit? Who wears that?
I didn't see it. You showed me.
Yes, I showed you.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes, I showed you.
Okay.
It's like a sheer black thing with her bra underneath, and she had like, it would look like gloves, but it was like the whole shirt. I mean, she was looking like she was a diva.
Woogus. Who cares?
I agree with you, B-Dog. It's like she got dressed. She was happy. She just wanted to show off her abs, and then she's fit. Yeah, I thought it was funny.
But don't you think that this was a good opportunity for her to look that way after a year and a half or more of being trounced, of being overweight, out of shape? She'll never come back. Don't you think she needs to show something off so maybe she can quiet all her haters?
She looked pretty. I thought she looked good.
I thought she looked great. I'm a Serena fan.
Yeah, she looked
Period. Great. And look, people will hate and they'll hate and they'll hate and they'll hate. If she would have came in there with the big garb on and you couldn't see anything, then people would have just kept hating. She did what she had to do. Let's go, Serena. Let's go.
You okay now? You're getting excited.
Man.
You might break the glass table.
I'm good to go.
All right, next message is from Brandon, and he sent it to me on Instagram. He says, crazy days for women. Was wondering what your thoughts are on Serena and Andy's doubles pairing. And do you like the name Sir Andy or Morena better? Wishing you well, and you look fabulous in the dress. Thank you. Don't like the nicknames. Could care less about Sarandi or Morena. Morena in Spanish is a different word. So, what do you think about them playing doubles?
I think it's fun for the crowd. From what I hear, there was a match that took place before it, and no one left to watch the match. So
brought more tickets in.
As long as there's people watching the game, then I think it's good for the game. As long as we're not throwing chairs and smashing rackets, and the seats are filled and everyone is happy, then I think tennis is doing a good job. Would I care to watch them two play? You know, if it was raining outside and all the kids were gone.
Well, maybe it's more exciting than the quarterfinals we have.
Maybe, we'll get into that.
Maybe.
But we're pushing, and again, I will slow it down here as we push forward. We're pushing 35 minutes, and we're not even near done. I don't want to push this 2 hours like we used to do.
I'm almost done.
All right, but there was one comment in there. You showed Matt's picture, but there was one comment that came in from a gentleman that may have taught you as a junior at Nick Bollettieri's camp before it was IMG in Florida. And I think, and I don't know if you ever got a response back, but all I wanted to do with this statement is that there was someone who commented.
Fast
Eddie, yes. So there was a comment that came in from a Fast Eddie, and Carla did some training as a youth in Southern Florida at Nick Bollettieri's camp. Someone saw her, made a message, hey, did you ever train there? And lo and behold,
he said, hello, you crazy tennis kids. Old Pro here gets a kick out of you kids. Good job on your channel. Gives me a morning coffee and some extra spice. Carla, I think I may have given you a lesson back in the days. So he said, did I train at Nick Bollettieri's camp? I did.
And she did.
So I don't know. If you could send me a picture via email, it would be great.
So that's just goes to show you that tennis. Again, we're at 40 minutes, and I've got like 7 pages left.
Okay.
Again, I just have to say we got to roll. We got hounded from this last year taking too long, and we're headed that direction.
When he gets upset, jeez.
I'm not upset.
Well, I have one more topic, and that was it.
All right.
It was the fines.
We still got like 16 matches to go
Well,
through.
the matches, can we be honest? The matches were pretty quick on the men's side.
All right.
What is there to talk about Novak, Federer, and Nadal? Does anyone really want to talk about those matches?
This is what I got to deal with.
There's nothing to talk about those matches. Let's be real here.
Still love this girl, though. Still go.
Well, Bernard Tomic gets fined his whole prize money. So I had a viewer that said, well, Barty beat Dart 6-1, 6-1, and Wayne Chia said, Tsonga got crushed by Rafa. Should we fine him?
I'm confused.
Well, Fognini got fined $3,000 for what he just said the other day, which was a big deal, I thought. But how do they take Tomic's prize money? All of it. This guy said something worse, and he only gets fined $3,000.
So what you're saying, and let me just reiterate this to be clear. Mm-hmm. What you're saying is that Fabio Fognini, who mentioned out loud in his native language that something should occur that was something really bad to the club or something.
Yes.
Okay, whatever. So you're saying he got fined only 3,000 euros or dollars or whatever.
Yeah.
But what you were saying is that Bernard Tomic, who got fined, I think somewhere around $70,000 or $80,000, something like that.
$56,000.
$56,000, whatever. It's a lot of thousands.
Yeah.
What could we do with that? Live like a year without question, not even think about it? He loses it in a day for having been fined for lack of effort in a match that I think went 6-4 in the final set.
6-4 in the third set, yes.
So what you're saying is that Bernard Tomic was fined all this money because someone said, namely the referee and some other tournament people, that he didn't try hard enough.
Yes.
And that Fabio Fognini, who was audibly recorded as a fact, saying what he said,
apologized for it.
Only got fined $3,000. So what you're saying is
it's not fair.
What you're saying is that Fabio Fognini should have been the one fined $80,000.
Everything.
And Tomic's the one that shouldn't have even been talked about really at all.
Correct. How is this fair?
So okay, and then you furthered that argument by saying that someone beat this young English girl or whatever.
Barty beat Dart 6-1, 6-1.
6-1. So why didn't Dart get a penalty? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
How can some John Doe schmo or umpire or anybody say that person tried unless they're in their skin? Is what you're saying?
That's correct.
Didn't we have Djokovic beat someone today badly? Didn't we have Federer beat someone today badly?
Yeah.
Didn't we have Nadal beat someone badly?
Yes.
Is Wimbledon and the powers to be going to take all their prize money away because someone's going to say they didn't try very well?
Yeah.
Didn't Bernard Tomic take the third set to 6-4, which is pretty close, one break generally?
Yes.
So I guess we're going to take whose? We're going to take...
Might as well take
Berenti's. You're going to take...
Umbert's.
You're
and Sousa.
And Sousa. So let's take all their money away then. So be careful the battles that you choose in terms of taking people's money, because 6-4 in the third is a whole lot better than 2-1 and 2.
Yeah. Agree.
Anyway, good topic. I didn't know you had that. That's great, though. All right, so let's get right into today's notable matches, results, and upcoming matches, intriguing matches, etc. Let's start with the women's, as always. Ladies first. And again, let me say one thing. I get worked up sometimes when there's $100 million athlete out there in the name of Nadal. And again, it's not that I don't like Nadal. It's just that sometimes what he says comes off a little ostentatious, a little showy, a little prima donna-ish. I mean, for me, if that's me, geez, I could only imagine winning one ATP 250, much less 18 majors. But if someone came to me in the media and says, hey, what did you think about Ashley Barty taking center court and you not? Would I have said, I won 18 slams, I'm number 2 in the world, deal with it type of thing. Whatever he said afterwards, I don't care. Good for her, good for the young lady or the young girl. Hey, she's number 1 in the world, I'm number 2, and we wish the best for her. Next question, please. Even if in my head I thought differently, I would have not done that to a female. I just wouldn't have. I would have. If that was my son, I would smack him in the face. Just saying. Ask my boys that. Do I need to get him in here and ask them what happens if they don't open the door for a lady?
Well, let's get on to the women's.
All right, let's start it up. Women's matches.
All right, we had Lena Svitolina from Ukraine who defeated Petra Martic in 2 sets, 6-4, 6-2. I actually watched some of this match, woke up early. It appeared to me that Martic was actually injured, called the trainer a few times. And the second set, she really ran out of gas, didn't have much for Svitolina, so Svitolina's on to the quarterfinals.
Good for her. I wonder where Gal Monfils is in this.
I don't know.
I haven't seen him in the box here recently.
No, who knows?
So good for Svitolina. She has been through her ups and downs in the game, and better yet, good luck to Martic as well. Martic is a fine player in of herself. I don't necessarily look forward to talking about the next match because I lost Pliskova today.
Yeah.
But real quickly, who do you think is the better player in the next round, Svitolina or this Muchova girl?
I actually have no clue, really, because Pliskova, we know that in her head sometimes she just disappears, just completely disappears.
Good shot off the floor into the basket, off the wall, back down.
Why would you throw that ball?
Because it kept rolling on.
Why wouldn't you just put it down?
Well, it's a bouncy ball. If I bounce it, it's just gonna bounce up.
Yeah,
how do I just put it? I'm 4 feet off the ground.
I don't want the dog to eat it. Okay.
Well, Chris has already got it.
Okay. Well, Pliskova.
What's up, producer Chris? Let's go.
He's getting on my
nerves. You want a cameo?
Really?
See, I think I hit the shoulder with the ball and it bounced right out. All right, here we go. Let's go.
Pliskova, as we know, could be.
You want to come say hello?
And he was like,
well, come on if you want to.
Wasn't he complaining about time just now? And Pliskova, sometimes she doesn't have it in her head, and I'm actually surprised she lost to Muchova. I had her going to the finals.
Yeah, I knocked myself out of competing for the tennis racket giveaway. My fantasy team's been done, but it's even buried now at this point when Pliskova lost. I have not seen, I must be totally honest, I have not watched Muchova play. I just haven't. So if I had to pick a winner between Svitolina and Muchova,
I just don't know.
Who would you go with?
I just don't know. It's a toss-up to me.
Well,
it's a great opportunity for Svitolina to get to the semifinals.
Yeah, I mean, I wish the best for both of them here. I look forward to seeing the match. Next match, we had the Coco Gauff and Simona Halep.
Yeah, that was two sets, 6-3, 6-2, or 6-2, 6-3, and we said that Gauff would go down in this round. We did say in the last show that you asked the question, you asked the viewers, do you think she would be destroyed? Do you think it would be close? Do you think Gauff will win? Well, I had said Halep will win. I thought she was too much for her. This is a Grand Slam champion, who has experience.
So can you repeat those scores to me? 6-3, 6-2?
Yeah.
All right, what was the score in the Bernard Tomic match that he got said, or that he was fine?
It was like 6-1.
6-1, 6-2, 6-4, something like that.
Yes.
So what is Wimbledon going to say that Coco Gauff didn't try? I mean, it's really difficult for me to comprehend that someone can just say this person didn't try, not in their body and skin, and can't think for them, and just take their money away. I get it if it's Kyrgios throwing a chair in the court, making obscene gestures on the sidelines, and really not visibly trying. But Tomic, I don't get that one. He's always been a Tomic. But can someone say Coco Gauff didn't try because she lost badly? No. Okay.
Shuai Zhang takes out Yastremska in 3 sets. These girls actually battled it out. I watched a few points. Yastremska came back strong in the second set, and it looks like Zhang took her out.
Yeah,
Very exciting.
Yeah, not super exciting. I've seen Zhang and Yastremska play a lot. But if you asked me before this tournament if I thought Shuai Zhang or Yastremska would be in the quarterfinals of Wimbledon, I would laugh.
Yeah, Wang Chu was happy.
I mean, that's great. I mean, that's great. I'm glad people are happy about it. That's wonderful. But all I'm saying is if someone asked me what my quarterfinalists would be before Wimbledon started,
I would have never chosen.
Would anyone have chosen, or in the fourth round, would anyone have chosen Shuai Zhang or Yastremska? Maybe chances on the outside looking in, but I can guarantee you that no one out of 29 applicants picked either one of them on their fantasy team. So I'm not alone on this one.
So we have Halep and Zhang.
Halep cruises.
I would think so.
All right, so let's move forward real quickly.
Risk takes out Barty. 3-6, 6-2, 6-3. This was a grunting fest for Risk. The worst, well, no, Sharapova has a worse grunting, but there were a lot of people on social media that were bashing Risk. Her grunting is very bad, very distracting, it's a distraction. Barty I watched this match, the first two sets, it was a lot of defense, a lot of offense. I mean, Barty was slicing, but I think Risk took more of a risk than Barty took.
That's nice. Risk took more of a risk.
She
I like
did.
That. Okay.
I don't like the way she hits her forehand. I told Wayne Chia she's so late to hit her forehand. She doesn't really quite turn. She hits it like this, but it worked for her. I mean, she was going for the winners.
Good for Risk to win here, but let's be real. Who wins between Risk and Serena Williams?
I would think Serena. I mean, Serena took out Suarez pretty quick, 6-2, 6-2. It was a quick match. I would think Serena's happy that Risk is on that side and not Barty.
Yeah, I think it's a risky move to listen to Risk squeal so loud in this upcoming next match.
Good for her, though. 2 Americans facing off.
Yeah, great, and that's great, but I hope the squealing with Serena, she's not a super loud squealer, but sometimes she goes, yeah,
I think she does it on purpose, more to be in your face. Well, next match is Mertens goes down to Strykova in 3 sets. Mertens just kind of crashed in the second set, had Strykova, and Strykova came back. Mertens took a long break or medical timeout, and Strykova kept pacing back and forth in the third set, and she won. She came through.
I like Strykova.
I don't know why I didn't pick Strykova.
I like Strykova a lot and have always liked Strykova. She's a fighter. She can battle.
Yeah, she had the towel over her head, jumping up and down. She was trying to keep herself warm while waiting.
I think the better player won this match. I think Strykova is better than Mertens, and the better player won. The next match hurt me badly because I had Kvitova. Kvitova losing to Konta today is great for Great Britain. Really good for Konta, her moving forward. We've always liked Konta.
Konta's done well, 2 Grand Slams now.
If I would not have Konta won 2 Grand Slams.
No, she's done good in the 2 Grand Slams. She reached what? A semi? Was it a semi? Or?
Yeah, the French.
Okay.
So great. I was thinking about Kvitova. You said Konta 1-2. I thought you were saying Kvitova 1-2. No. I had Kvitova as my predicted finalist and winner, which cost me my own tennis racket giveaway. So I wanted Kvitova to win this match, but if it wasn't because of the competition, I would have hoped Konta won the match. Who was the last female British player to go super deep at Wimbledon? I don't even know.
I need to go back and look.
I mean, besides Andy Murray before that, it was what, Tim Henman?
He didn't even make it to the final.
No, I mean, I'm talking Andy Murray won 2 Wimbledons.
Yes.
I'm saying in past.
Oh, women's has been.
I can't remember. What was there? Virginia Wade.
Virginia Wade, I think. Yes.
There has to be another one in there. Is Virginia Wade the last British woman to win Wimbledon? Who was the last British finalist? I can't believe I can't remember that. I don't think Tim Henman ever made a final. I think he made a couple of semis, but I don't think he ever made a final. But good for Konta. I think the better player lost, though. I think the better player is Kvitova, and she lost. So hopefully Kvitova as well. But good job for Konta.
Virginia Wade, 1977.
Last winner. Okay, so I got it.
On the women's side, yes. Well, the men's, Novak, do we really need to talk about this match?
We don't.
3, 2, and 3. We said this was going to happen. It was quick.
All 29 applicants on the fantasy team all picked Djokovic, and almost all of them picked him to win it, with a few Federer wins and like one Nadal win. No need to dwell there. I still don't know how Humbert beat Felix Auger-Aliassime. I don't know how he won that match. I don't even know how Humbert beat Marcel Granollers. I don't even know how he did that. But good for him.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Good, yeah.
But Djokovic is going to destroy him next match.
Who, Goffin?
No, Djokovic, is going to destroy him. He destroyed Humbert, and he's going to destroy Goffin.
Well, Goffin came through in 4 sets, and I mean, I think Goffin will take a set.
I don't.
That's it.
I don't.
A set.
I don't.
I give him a set.
You want to bet on that?
I'm not betting with you anymore.
Why, you're scared?
I'm not betting.
You chicken, you
No,
yelling?
because you threw me into 2 bets that I didn't want to do.
Do you want to take? I'm asking you. Do you
No,
want to
I'm
take
not
this
betting
bet?
anything.
Does anyone out there want to bet me that Novak Djokovic does not lose a set to David Goffin? I'll take the bet.
Okay, I'm not betting.
Yeah, because
I'm not betting. Let's move on.
Because you know I'm right.
Let's move on.
All right, let's go.
Pega defeats Raonic in 5 sets. Gosh, I really wanted Raonic.
Yeah, that one was odd for me.
I was hoping that this was like an opportunity for him to get to a semifinal, meet Novak.
Wait a minute, Raonic made a final of Wimbledon before.
I'm talking about this Wimbledon here.
Oh, okay.
To make a semifinal, meet Novak.
Yeah,
I think he would have been a better match than Pega and Batista.
Yeah, we were watching this match at first, and we had to go teach lessons.
He was up 2 sets.
And he was up 2 sets.
6-3,
We left.
6-4.
Came back over the other way.
Yeah.
Like, what happened there?
Yeah.
I'm curious. In comments, what happened there? What was Raonic's demise? There's been a lot of talk about Fines and Fognini and Serena and Gauff. Well, here's Raonic, who's made a Wimbledon final. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think he lost to Nadal that year, or was it Djokovic? I think it was Nadal. Anyway, made a Wimbledon final. No one's even talking about what happened after he was up 2 sets and then lost. But I'm curious what happened there. Good for, Guido Pella?
Guido Pella.
Good for him to be here. And then I think he meets Bautista Agut.
Yeah, who beat Pair in 3 sets.
You know, big deal, beat Pair.
I mean,
Peter's
honestly,
a good player, but is he that good?
This is a toss-up with these 2 guys, and really, whoever Novak faces, he'll be in the final.
I'm assuming most people are going to pick, Roberto Bautista Agut? Is it?
Sure, I'm sure that.
I'm sure most people would pick Bautista Agut, which should give Guido Pella more opportunity to swing freely because he has nothing to lose, right?
Yes.
I mean, he's gonna win $250,000 for simply being here. Might as well go big or just stay home, right?
Definitely.
So I think he's got a shot, but does it matter who wins that match in terms of will either one of them have an opportunity to go through Novak Djokovic? No. I don't think
this draw has opened up so much, it's incredible.
I don't
Not his fault.
I don't think Novak Djokovic loses a set against Goffin, and I don't think he loses a set in his semifinal against whoever he faces. I'll take that bet. Do you want to take that bet, Carla?
Man, you're so annoying today.
Do you want to take
You're so
that
annoying.
bet?
Tomorrow we're going to play tennis. I'm going to beat you down.
Last time we played, I was up 3-2 and we stopped. And the time before that, I beat you.
No. The time before that, I beat you. And you told
anyway,
the kids,
enough.
Shh.
Okay,
He's so annoying today.
Can we move forward?
You're so annoying today.
Djokovic, if any wants to take... she's scared. If any of
I don't want to take your bets.
Okay, you're already scared. I get that. You already lost every bet to me this year on this tournament. If any of you want to bet me some type of event that we do on the show, that Novak Djokovic will not lose 1 set between David Goffin or against whoever his semifinal is, Pella or Bautista Agut. Anybody want to take me up on that? Let's go. I'm in.
All right, Sam Querrey takes out Tennis Sangren in 4 sets, 6-4, 6-7, 7-6, 7-6. Yeah, we figure this.
When you have a big server, you get a lot of tie breaks. Good for Sam Querrey to get through.
I had him going to
this match.
quarterfinals, and that's it. Nadal takes out Sousa, so it's a Nadal Querrey quarterfinal like I had.
Well, Nadal would have beaten Sandgren if he would have won like 0-1 and 0. I think Querrey could win a set here.
Oh yeah, I think
he could.
I think he could too.
Querrey could actually beat Rafa Nadal if his serve does not get broken ever and gets into tiebreakers and goes for some of Nadal's tiebreak serves. So the big server, if the server can hold until 6-6, then he's got a good shot in the tiebreaker because it just takes one mini break off of Nadal's relatively weaker serve compared to his to win him sets. And that's why these sets with these big servers are notorious for going 7-6, 6-7, 7-6, 6-4, whatever. Querrey has a shot. Querrey has a better shot against Nadal than Goffin, Pella, or Bautista Agut has against Djokovic.
Yeah.
So I think that Querrey has a shot.
Yeah. Nishikori takes out Kukushkin in 4 sets. Yay!
Woo!
He didn't go to 5 sets. Holla.
Exciting,
Yes!
exciting. Get the collar going for that
He
one.
didn't go. He didn't do 5 sets anywhere. Good for him.
All right,
The first Grand Slam, no 5 sets.
First time in history, breaking news that Kei Nishikori has not gone 5 sets in the match before his next big match.
Wow.
Woo!
Federer-
Times are changing.
Federer takes out Berrettini 1, 2, and 2.
Wait a minute, did Berrettini get stripped of his prize money for losing so badly? How does that make
So
sense?
do we think Nishikori has a chance against Federer, even though Wayne and Chia told me that, his percentages are good against Federer?
Look, I think Nishikori has about as much of a chance of beating Federer as Querrey has of beating Nadal. Okay?
Okay.
So there's an outside shot, and it could happen. It could happen.
I know Djokovic would love that.
All right, that's the end of matches and upcoming matches. So let's end the show as usual with my favorite part, which is 12 rapid fire questions. How this works, if you're new to the channel, is you must answer these questions rapidly. By the way, when you answer these questions, Carla educated me with this. When you answer the questions in comments, it actually, when you type your answer, it actually, when we go look at it, it actually brings us to the point in time where you actually answered the question. So answer them rapidly. Can't think about it. Carla, you can't look at my paper. You must look there and answer these questions as we go, right? I'm trying to beat an hour, so let's go quickly. Question number 1. Which underdog on the women's side of the Wimbledon draw has a better chance of making the finals? Alison Risk, Barbora Strykova, Carolina Muchova, or Shuai Zhang?
Strykova.
I agree, Strykova. Question number 2. On the men's side, besides the big three, obviously Nadal, Federer, and Djokovic, who has the best chance to make the finals? A. David Goffin, B. Guido Pella, C. Roberto Bautista Agut, D. Sam Querrey, and E. Kei Nishikori.
To make the finals?
Make the finals.
Sam Querrey.
I'm going to say Kei Nishikori.
No way.
Scenario. Here, question number 3. It's a scenario. Here we go. Question number 3, or scenario. You are traveling and hungry, and you have to pull the car over quickly and grab something to eat that is filling and fast. What do you grab?
One of those protein shakes or fruit shakes. Yeah.
Let's go. I wrote a muscle milk and some nuts. I stay away from the fast food. Good choice. We're on the same brainwave. Question number 4. I'm not a huge fan of candy bars, but if you had to grab one, which one would you grab?
M&M's peanut.
I'm going Payday. I wouldn't eat it, but if I had to, that would be that one because of the nut content. Question number 5. True or false? Tennis is an international language, a wonderful and lovely sport, and something that brings people very close together, and we find out that almost everyone has something in common.
Yes.
True.
Yes, true.
True.
Oh, that was a question. True.
It was true or false?
Yes, obviously. True.
Yeah, true. Not another sport like it that I have come across as being an athlete my whole life. Wonderful sport, lovely people, great conversation. It's an international language that brings people closer together. That's a fact. Question number 6. Your favorite nursery rhyme song as a child was what? Hurry up.
I don't know.
So you're passing?
Pass, I don't know.
You could have said Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, row, row, row your boat, or something.
Remember.
All right, I'm going Puff the Magic Dragon.
Oh, no, I hate that.
Number 7. Choose one of the following. A, steak. B, chicken. C, pork. D, vegetarian. E, vegan.
I'll take the chicken.
I'm going with chicken too. Question number 8. Do you think Coco Gauff wins a round or 2 at the U.S. Open?
1 round.
1 round? We'll see what happens. Question number 9. Borna Coric, one of my favorite current tennis players, has been fairly quiet recently. Do you think he makes the second week at the U.S. Open?
No.
I do for sure. I think he makes a quarterfinal. Question number 10. My youngest of 5 children, a young boy, 3 years old, never gives me hugs, only to Carla. Is it safe to say he's a mama's boy?
Definitely.
Shoot, at 3 you better be strong, better be ripping
He's
that tennis
strong,
ball.
but he
Better
loves
be
mom.
ripping that ball.
But he loves mom.
Shoot, you better be hitting. Tell you what, you better get that ball over the net. Let's go. Cute little sucker, but you better be hitting. Better get it over. Let's get down. No pressure though, no pressure. Question number 11. True or false? All of the Wimbledon quarterfinals are extremely exciting.
No, not at all.
Question number 12. Who grunts or screeches the worst when playing matches? A, Maria Sharapova. B, Alison Risk. C, Victoria Azarenka. D, Francesca Schiavone. Or D, the male player, Jamie Munar.
Azarenka.
I'm going with Schiavone. She's pretty wicked. Bonus question. Here we go. Should grunting or screeching be a hindrance in the sport and thus something to... Should grunting or screeching be a hindrance in tennis and thus something not to train or teach our students?
Definitely.
Some coaches out there train to grunt.
I get mad at my daughter when she does. I'm like,
Some even know that it causes a hindrance and they coach it because of that. And let's be clear on that. I've been around it. I keep my mouth shut, but I think it's ridiculous.
It is.
Just to do it. Sometimes I'll let one out on the serve or something, but won't.
That's when you're tired, though.
All right, real quickly, at the end of the show, this is it. I just wanted to leave something open for anybody. This show is your show. We've mentioned this time and time again. We are too naive to figure out how to have guests on this show by live feed. We can't do live videos. Wait, we can't do live videos. But we have tried to figure out a way to incorporate you, the people that make this show happen, to make guest appearances. We watch videos and we see like the screens split, you know, and there's like different people talking and they're obviously not at the same place, but I have no idea how to do it. Carla has no idea to do it.
I haven't done my research.
I think Rajesh Kumar might have an idea how to do it. We've never asked. So what I want to throw out there is, how do we make it so we can have someone else on this show without being here? I'm sure there's a technical way of doing so in 2019, right? So I would like to eventually be able to have guests on the show so we can talk the whole time, but I'm clueless to how to do it. Maybe like an iPad with like FaceTime and point it that way with the volume up. I don't know, but help us out with that. I think it would make it a lot better. But we're too naive to figure that out. We would learn. Let us know how. Much love to all of you. Remember, this is your show, so thanks so much for keeping it going. We are always in debt to you. We are going to start doing comments of the day again soon. We used to do that starting out. So I'm going to award comment of the day today to Wild Live 1 after his Coco Gauff comment. Thanks so much to YTEX Strings for all the prize giveaway stuff, less the tennis rackets. We do that. It will be strung with some YTEX Strings, though, and that is on Igor as well. And YTEX. So like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And as always, cheers, mate. It's Wimbledon Sunday coming up. Be ready.